we were just doing a coffee and chat, and we weren't actually recording, so we had a chat.
It was really good, actually.
It was a really good chat, yeah. Unfortunately, you're not going to see it now, so
No.
shame that. Let you in on all of our secrets. Actually, you've got a little secret, haven't you?
Are we telling people my secret?
Are we?
You tell me.
Well, once it's out there, there's no going back, so it's your decision really, isn't it? Once it's out there, you can't go back.
I mean, what we know, we could be, what? 9?
Depends.
9 weeks? 8 or 9 weeks out?
9 or 10 weeks,
9 or
isn't it?
10 weeks out.
Yeah, 9 or 10 weeks out.
Yeah, from a PCA, either naturals or not naturals, because obviously we're natural.
She's got a few weeks to decide whether she wants to do it natural or not. I'm joking.
Get the training, yeah? Yeah, so cat's out the bag then, isn't it?
So how are you feeling?
Up and down, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like there's a certain pride to being like, I'm so fine. But then I think some people are like very much like, no, I'm dying. I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm like, the last few days have been hard, as you've seen. They've been hard. And it started to feel like a prep. It didn't feel like a prep until the last few days. Now it started to feel like a prep. But you can see the results of why I feel like shit in the scales and in my physique, because I think I look completely different to what I did even last week. And like, what were you saying, 2 pounds down? I said 2 kilos down. From high to low, I'm 2 kilos down, but 2 pounds on average.
She tried to make out that I'm really putting her in the gutter and making her drop 2 kilos a week. I was like, no.
Doing like 6 hours of cardio a week, 7 hours.
She's like 56 kilos and I'm making her drop 2 kilos a week. Someone doing the maths on that, because
got to wilt away
she
from
feels
nothing
like
soon.
shit.
But I didn't. This is the thing. I really didn't. It kind of hit me all of a sudden. I think it was like either Thursday or Friday. It just boom. And like the other night, like I just had to take myself up to bed at like before 8 o'clock. I was just like, oh my God, I was so wiped. I couldn't even form a conversation because you were wired, whatever's going on with you. And I was like, I just don't have the energy to do this right now. I'm sorry, and just go to bed.
And did you curse to me about taking food away from you?
I never
apparently.
cursed.
And I didn't even take food away. I gave food. I actually gave her a refeed.
She did give me a
was like,
refeed.
you're taking food away from me. And I was like, what? What?
in a joking manner. And I only cursed internally, not externally. But yeah, you did give me a refeed yesterday, to be fair. And we did still drop today. And I woke up looking very dry, I think, as well. You saw like the little mini ab shot I did in the morning.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why it's like, it's handy to be able to have you there to oversee things so quickly, because like I wouldn't have given, if I was doing this by myself, I wouldn't have given myself that refeed. I would have just been like, no, I have to push through and it has to feel really shit. But then that doesn't always make it better, does it? You know?
Well, that's it, isn't it? Like, there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, like, I can do it myself. Or, and again, like, of course, you know, you can do things yourself if you know what you're doing. Like, obviously, you were a PT, not anymore, you're vet med. Vet med, yeah. I thought I said it the wrong way around there.
No, you didn't. Met
Met. So it's like, in theory, you could do it yourself, but it's like, well, why would you want to?
Why would you want to make it harder than it has to be? Like, I've been training for a really long time now. I've already done a prep, but I did my last prep under a coach, and I wouldn't, like, I know how it feels when you get to the end of it, and I know you can't look at yourself objectively. You either look at yourself and go, oh my God, I'm not lean enough, and you panic and you take away food, and you do more cardio, and then all of a sudden you just look like a string bean. I would have done that exact thing twice. Like, last time I had someone keeping my head on, and this time I knew I needed someone keeping my head on. There's no way, I personally I couldn't do it by myself. I get too attached to feeling shit and pushing. You know, I just can't do it.
It's that accountability though, isn't it? Of just being like, when you get to a certain point like you're doing now, and you have to have so much structure in your day, like you don't want to be thinking about, oh, well, actually, do I need to be doing more, or should I be doing this? Or
not a chance,
like,
no.
You know,
you've already got like, I wouldn't say in prep, you don't really have decision fatigue because you work within a very specific range of things.
You've got a plan.
Yeah. So you don't really get decision fatigue, but there is a lot of fatigue. Like I have to write out a massive to-do list for my day because I need to get my steps done, I need to get cardio done, I need to get training done, I need to get all my uni work done, I need to get, like, there's so many things I need to get done. Like I do not want to sit there on the weekend and think about, right, what is my plan for this week, food-wise, training-wise, whatever. Like I want you to do that. You know, that's I push that to you, and that's what you do best. And then I just kind of can, like, I can just hop along and not really think about what I'm doing. You tell me what to do, and I just do it day to day.
Yeah. And then you don't need to do the worrying about it.
Exactly. So then if it's shit, it's your fault. So you see, it's a win-win.
That's why I just take the shit when you're there, like, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
Oh, I'm not that bad. I have been bad the last couple of days. I've been trying to go very quiet instead of being like, blah. But yeah, sometimes it comes out.
What happens when you prep a friend, isn't it? I know sometimes that when I do my check-ins, I just have to see her. I went here from her for a little bit and I get a message like, I was really pissed off, but I'm okay now.
That only happened once. So she did the big food drop initially. And it wasn't a big
food drop. Wasn't
it like a 400 calorie? 3 or 400?
No, I've never done that in my life.
Okay.
No. You're being very dramatic right now. I dropped 2 kilos, she took 400 calories away from me. No, I didn't.
Okay, when you did the initial food drop, I was having a bad day and I was in a bad mood and I did have to take an hour away from my phone to just leave it to one side and go, right, I can talk to you now. But it hasn't happened since then, to be fair. But to be fair, we haven't had to drop food since then. We've just been consistently losing.
It's been very smooth sailing, really, hasn't it? Like,
it's been fine.
And that's it. It's not about just doing more. Like, could easily be like, oh yeah, let's just throw in shit ton of cardio, let's pull your steps up really high. But it's like, what's the need? You actually drop it on decent food, really.
Yeah, it is
like,
decent food. Yeah, it is.
Expenditure's not massive.
No, not
at all.
No.
Far from it. And you're dropping. So it's like, well, have that time that you would be doing ridiculous amount of cardio on sleeping and recovering.
Yeah.
And then when we get closer, there's a lot more tools to be played with if needs be.
Yeah, well, exactly, because I feel like if we did just do that, then we come to peak week, or we come to the couple of weeks before peak week, and we just be like, shit, I'm going to be really inflamed probably, going to have lost a lot of tissue probably, and then we've got nothing to play with if I do need to lose more weight, or more body fat, I should say. Like, I don't feel shit at the minute because my expenditure's really high and my food's really low. I feel shit at the minute because I'm lean. Getting lean, and it's that leanness that feels shit, like that brain fog and that constant hunger and that, you know, that feels shit. But like, what I'm coming to is like, if I didn't have you there guiding me, because I feel like I should be doing more, because girls might often have to get really low into the trenches and do a lot of cardio, I would be looking at that going, well, I should be doing that, shouldn't I? Because that's too easy.
No, that's what I mean, like, everybody's different, isn't it? Like, obviously, you know, the girls doing the photo shoot, some of their calories are lower than your calories, their expenditure's higher than yours. So it's like, every single person's different, every single person needs different things. And it's like, you don't want to be doing as much as possible, you want to be getting the best results possible, doing the least amount of work. Yeah. But again, over time, that tends to happen anyway. The more experience you become. Because also you get a lot more accurate with things. Like, you know how to track your meals. Like, you know how to manage all of these things. Whereas if someone's starting out and it's your first diet, then like, you're going to get things wrong.
Yeah, and I did. I think we all do. Yeah. I remember years ago, like, the amount of things, like, mistakes I made, and, you know, it was a minefield, like, years ago, and I started, like, training and tracking food during COVID, and obviously there was all sorts of fucking advice out there then. Like, you remember what it was like, don't you?
Yeah.
It was all over the place. And I remember it was such a minefield. It was so hard to learn. And people did make it harder than it had to be. And it was when IIFYM was huge. And people were cramming
Yeah.
shit into their diets, like cookies and like leaving
Oh,
loads
but even
of...
I was doing that back
Oh, I
then
was
as
doing
well.
it too. Yeah, no judgment on it. I was doing it too. You would eat nothing throughout the whole day, and then the evening you would essentially binge, but it's okay because it's in your calories. And then you'd feel hungry and shit all the time just because you're not eating nice, good, whole foods. You're eating shit at the end of the day. And volume, like I don't know if you remember protein mousse or protein whip, when you whip up the protein powder. And it's like, of course you're gonna feel hungry. Like, yeah, it's got protein in it, but it's volume,
Or like
it's
little
air.
protein bars that actually don't really have any
Yeah.
protein in them, and it's like 8 grams and it's like 200
Literally.
calories, and you're like,
Why is this? Yeah, marketing just gets people.
healthy, high protein options that are just going to keep you full for about 5 minutes.
Yeah. I remember, I'm not going to mention any names, but I remember I did a program by like a really big, successful fitness, like PTs. I don't think they're a PT anymore because they're really famous, but like a PT at the time. I did like a massive group program by them. And I remember it kind of fucked my knowledge or my relationship with food in a way, because now bearing in mind, this is people who've never trained before and you're just doing HIIT workouts. He had us carb cycling. So we would be 0 carb on our rest days. And then we'd only be allowed to have carbohydrates if we trained. So obviously if you're linking training to being able to eat more, that kind of fucks with your brain. And then you think, well, can I not? And then I'd be starving on my rest days and thinking I can't eat carbs because I haven't exercised. And like things like that really can damage
And there's no like education behind it though, is it? Like, do you know what I mean? Like obviously we've started doing carb cycling, but there's a reason for it.
There's a reason for that.
Like you understand that
She's
reason.
got exams.
You know, it's not a case of just being like, oh, do you know what? Like you can't eat carbs today.
But even then on my rest days, I still have carbs in there. It's not like
Yeah.
we're 0 carb on rest days. I would fucking kill someone if it was 0 carb. I'm not gonna lie.
Like you're not eating any carbs.
Yeah, no. But like it comes with time, and I think a big thing with diet and exercise and transformation in general is it's really unsexy, but a lot of it is time and consistency. Like,
Doing the basics well.
yeah, and it is, and it's not magic, and it is. But I don't really think it's boring because it's my life. I just do it day to day, so I don't think of it as boring or not boring. I just
It's
do
not
it.
looking for those shiny objects though, isn't it? It's like, oh, what else can I be doing? Oh, should I be doing that? Oh, they're doing that. And like, if you're someone who's always just looking at what other people are doing and they're getting information from all these people, it's like, you're not going to have a clue. And then you can be in a position when, oh, nothing works for me, but like, you've not actually stuck at one thing for long enough to see if it works. 'Cause
Exactly.
Lots of things do work.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to do a mixture of bloody everything, then, well, what do you expect?
People want to overcomplicate it sometimes, or they feel the need to because these fucking fitness companies, that's what they do. They market it as complicated, and like good coaches like you try to uncomplicate things, and that is what good PTs and coaches. That's what they do because. You don't need to dress it up in a package to sell PT because, it's complicated. No, you just need to be a good coach.
Yeah.
And explain and help people learn.
And that's the thing though, isn't it? It's just about being in a position where you do the basics well. And then if you need to add in other things, like if you're doing something like a show or do you know what I mean? Like that's when things become a bit different, or if you're trying to be more specific with muscle groups you're trying to bring up. But like you're just someone starting out. It's like you don't need anything fancy. 100%. You just need to get into a routine, learn about your food, what you're actually eating. It's not good or bad. It's just like what's actually going to fuel you, what's going to help you diet, what's going to give your body the most energy and nutrients, that's going to help you to feel good. It's like if you're getting ill all the time, probably a sign that you want to eat a bit more veg. Do you know what I mean? It's like the simple things.
So
it's not something that's...
It's so true, and you do feel so much better in your body day to day. And like the good or bad thing always sets me off as well, like because it's just been ingrained in us, hasn't it? And like, people like it would it be good or bad for me right now to go and just get a pizza? It wouldn't be anything. It's just that I'd rather not do that because I've got a goal to stick to.
Yeah.
It's not good or bad. Nothing's really good or bad in that sense.
There's a trade-off for everything.
Exactly.
Like you've got a goal, So actually, you going and have a pizza isn't going to align with that goal.
Not at all.
Whereas if your goal's a bit different, or you've not got a tight deadline, and you go, actually, do you know what? Me having a pizza with whoever, I want to enjoy that time. I can enjoy it, then just get back to normal. It's like, okay, Sam, that's fine. Whereas if you were to have a pizza now, it's like, oh, well, now you're digging, girl.
Like future, I always like to think of it in terms of like future me. Is future me going to be happy with that if I throw her in the trenches because I've had a pizza? But that's a really good point as well. Is like if your goal is a particular physique goal and you've got a timeline, that pizza would be not bad idea, but you know what I mean. That would probably set you back. But if your goal is to improve your relationship with food, be a little bit more flexible about things, and you want to be able to kind of socialize and have that little bit of food freedom, then having the pizza really will bring you forwards.
Yeah.
And we've had to, you and I have both had struggles post-prep, because people forget that the diet is not the be-all and end-all. Because when you get after the diet, you have to kind of relearn how to have that flexibility, especially if it's been an extreme diet or you've had an extreme goal, like a photo shoot, like a prep. And we've both had to experience that as well, haven't we?
And that's the thing, it's like, it's not just the fat loss, and that's why it's like, rather than seeing fat loss as the end, it's going, okay, well, what actually comes after that part? Like, what areas do we need to focus on now? And even just changing it from like, okay, well, now we're going to focus on lifting heavier in the gym, move it away from the scale so much, and learning about it rather than being like, oh, okay, fat loss is done, like, that's fine now, I'm happy. It's like, okay, well, if you want to stay happy, then you need an exit strategy.
Exactly. Because it can get really, really bad, really, really quick, and people don't talk. I mean, people talk about it now, but back in the day, people didn't talk about it enough. They'd do their diet and they'd be like, I look amazing, I feel amazing, and then you wouldn't hear from them for weeks on social media, and they come back and like, I've been struggling with binge eating for weeks and weeks and weeks. And it's because like no one really talks about how hard it is to kind of switch back into normal life, I guess you want to call it. Like, I know I'm talking in prep terms now, but even just for like normal diets, sometimes you can have that swing, because I think it comes back as well. Like, and I have been here so many times where you've been dieting, you've been really good, you've been sticking to everything, and then you get to a certain point where you're like, yeah, I kind of almost deserve this. And yes, okay, I can see where that you're coming from with that, but I always like to think about how you're going to feel after. Like, if you're like, I deserve this large Domino's pizza with the massive amount of dip and the 4 cookies and the ice cream after, how are you going to feel after that? Because I'm guarantee you it will not be worth it.
It's bringing it back to those, isn't it? Like, well, no one actually feels good for overindulging. It's like, and again, sometimes people have to do it. You have to do the thing, don't you, to actually know what it feels like, to know that you don't want to be in that position. Exactly. But it's like, I mean, I remember after, my first show, I was like, oh, I'm never do that again.
I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it, to be honest.
I felt horrendous. But it's like, I only knew that because I'd done it, And it's put yourself in that position where you go, okay, I might want that now, but how did I actually feel last time I'd done that? And then that's enough for you to be like, actually, take your time whilst you're eating, enjoy it, rather than being like, oh, I can have this. It's like, well, yeah, but you could also have it tomorrow.
Yep.
Like
my first coach, my old coach that I worked with for like 3 years, his thing, he always said, the food's always going to be there. It's always going to be there. So why are you rushing to eat it? Why do you have to eat it now? And people get it in their head like, I've only got this one day off plan that I can do this, so I have to eat everything. No, the food will be there forever. We're very privileged to live somewhere where we have access to all of this food all of the time. It's your decision whether you go and partake in that or not. So if you want to go and splurge, you can go and splurge, but just think about how it's going to feel after. Like, how is your stomach going to feel? How is your brain going to feel? How is your body going to feel? Rather than if you were to just like slow it down, breathe, and kind of be like, right, do I want to feel like shit after this? No. Okay, so I'm going to reduce, I'm going to still have it, but I'm going to reduce the amount that I think I want to have, because you're not going to feel good. You're not going to feel good having a whole pizza versus having a few slices and feeling full.
Yeah.
It's that past that point of fullness.
It's that pausing. Pausing and actually asking yourself a question of like, okay, well, like, why do I want this?
Yeah.
Am I actually hungry? Am I actually going to enjoy it?
Yeah.
Because it's like, people as well go, oh, I don't like wasting food. It's like,
Well, you're not a bin.
Yeah, you've wasted it as soon as you've got too much for you, essentially, haven't you? Like, you know, because even if you finish it, well, you're finishing it to feel like shit.
Yeah.
So, like, how does that make any sense? Why would you make yourself feel like shit?
Yeah.
Just to get rid of it?
You know, it's just popped into my head there, actually, and it's going to be a weird comparison, but I feel like it kind of works. You know, like, you know, all you can eat buffets.
Yeah.
So you know the way they're very much like, take what you want, but do not waste food. Take small plates and go back more if you're hungry. I feel like that's something that I almost, like, I feel like I do that in my life. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just have less food, and then if I'm still hungry, that's when I'll kind of, obviously when I'm not dieting and prepping, it's more of a, right, well, I'm going to have a little bit, and then I'll reflect on how I'm feeling, and then I'll go back.
Yeah.
I think when you've struggled with binge eating in the past, then you kind of have to learn to have that pause and check in. And a lot of people don't know how to do that, and they wonder why they feel like shit all the time. They've got indigestion and whatever else, because it's not.
But that's just like pausing in general about anything, isn't it? Like, a lot of the time people don't pause.
No.
And it's something that you've got to get good at, especially if you want to do a diet where you want to actually push condition.
Yeah.
Because it'd be very easy for you now to just go no to everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like putting yourself in the position of, okay, well, how do I want to feel on that day?
Yeah. Do I want to feel like I did everything I possibly could? Or do I want to feel like, oh, I shouldn't have done X, Y, Z, or could have done X, Y, Z? And we already know, like, there's a few hurdles in our prep in the weeks to come as well. Because obviously, like, I go on placement for 2 weeks, I've got no control over foods. And we're obviously going to have to play it by ear in terms of, I'm going to do what I can do. But before...
But you say you don't have any control over food, just to, like, reiterate this, you don't have control over what food, but you have control over, like, the quantity
How
of
much,
food
yeah,
and how much
yeah.
you're actually going to have.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're not going to go in there and be like, oh, do you know what?
This is my excuse to do whatever I want.
This is all, I can only have this.
Yeah.
Like, they've given me this massive plate of food, so I'm just going to eat all of it because, well, I've got no choice.
Exactly.
Like, you have a choice for how much goes into your mouth.
Well, this is it, and it's like, this is another important thing as well, is like, black and white thinking doesn't help anyone. If I just went, right, well, I don't have control over what food's being cooked, so I guess I can't do anything. Oh well, I'm just gonna completely, like, press the fuck it button. I feel like that someone says that, I can't remember who, but if I were to do that, that would put me in a much worse position than if I go, which is what I'm gonna do, and like you say, control the quantity, not what it is. Bring my protein powder with me, have my shakes, and keep my protein intake high. Can't train, but I can keep my protein intake high. Like, those are little things that are gonna, like, if I were to be able to photocopy myself, and one version of me just fuck it, and one version of me do what I can, who do you think's gonna be better off?
Yeah.
But if I were to have that black and white mindset, I just go, well, fuck it, I can't do anything about it. And that does not work. And so many people, and I get it, people get impatient and they want to be really intense with things, and it goes back to doing too much too soon. I totally get that people get impatient, especially if you've wanted the fat loss or whatever it is for such a long time. You do get impatient.
Yeah. But it's being realistic, isn't it? Like, if you're in a position where you're not happy, well, how long did that actually take you to get there? Because it probably wasn't a few weeks.
Exactly, exactly. If it's been over years, good news is it's not going to take years to go back the other way, but it will take some time.
But it's also going, well, if you hit the fuck it button now, well, you're only delaying things even more, so that's not actually speeding anything up. So it doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
But people don't take a step back to actually look at that and then go into, oh, well, I always fail.
Yeah.
Well, you will,
it's a
if that's what you always say.
Self-fulfilling prophecy. And it is hard to, like, I feel bad for people, like, when I just have people work with me who come to me and say those things about themselves. Like, I do feel like this is maybe a little bit like, but there's a lot of self-compassion required in this kind of thing. Like, if you fuck up, it's okay, but you have to learn to move on and just start again. Like, not start again, but like, just get back on the...
Well, everyone fails, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's just getting back to it, but it's putting yourself in a position where you're just willing to accept that.
Yeah. You're not,
but like, if you conquer your mindset, you're fine.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally mindset's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
It's not your training program. It's not your meal plan. It's your mindset.
Mindset and the consistency. That's about it, really, isn't it? Yeah. You're not a failure because you fail. you're a failure if you give up.
Exactly.
Maybe. But
Failure if you give up. You've already announced now like you're competing in 9
can't
or
get out
10
of it
weeks.
now.
You can't get out of it. That was your failure.
watch me come back from
Joking.
Lambing now, and I'll be like,
Yeah.
it'll be good.
Yeah, she's also booked a holiday as well.
I have booked a holiday.
Yeah.
I have booked a holiday, but I'm going to go on that holiday, and I'm going to do what I can, haven't I?
Yeah, exactly.
And the stress is going to wash off me, and we're going to look better. I'm going to be buff on the beach. Can't see anything here. That's fine.
Buff on the beach.
I think it's also important to, like, you can have a life and diet. You just need to control what you can control. Like,
Well,
okay,
it's just not being a victim, is it? Like,
Yeah.
you know, people complain about their partners having stuff, or when they go to.
no, I was just thinking about, like you said, my partner can do this, and I was just thinking about my partner at home with the massive Domino's pizza and the chicken all to himself, just as we left. So
But it's going back
I was
to-
laughing about that.
It's going back to you've got a choice, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like you could have that if you wanted it.
I don't want it, I want my goal more. It's as simple as that. If I didn't want my goal more, yeah, I'd have the pizza, but then why am I bothering with the goal? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not worth the hardship if I don't really want to do it. So
I think that having that timeline as well, like, it's important because, like, you know, if you're just turning around and going, oh, well, I want to lose, I don't know, I want to lose 6 kilos, but lose that in 12 weeks, I could lose it in 20 weeks, could lose it in 24 weeks. Well, it's going to be a lot harder for you to actually say no to things because, oh, what's another week? Whereas if you go, actually, no, I'm going to make a realistic timeline of what's actually going to be achievable, especially with the things that I've got going on, I'm just going to do what's required to get there.
yeah.
Like, yeah, okay, sometimes it might be hard saying no to things, but it's also hard not achieving the goal that you say that you
Yeah.
want to achieve, so
Yeah, you have to pick your heart, don't you?
choose your heart.
Yes, but you can always make it work. You can. Like everyone, I thoroughly believe, okay, some people have a lot more commitments than other people. Like I'm sitting here and I'm able to talk as someone with no kids and, you know, things like that. But like, I do think that most people anyway are able to find some solution that works for them.
Yeah.
Even if
There's
it's-
always a form of solution.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes things need to pivot. Like, you might be able to do something for a certain amount of time and something might happen, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And actually now those things aren't realistic. So you do have to change, whether that's how many training sessions you're doing, maybe it's
Yeah.
how much movement you're doing, but doing some is still better than doing none. Like, if you're doing
Yep.
12K steps in a minute, but I don't know, something's happening that you have
Yeah.
to travel further for work, whatever, and you can only get 10. Well,
Yeah.
doing 10's better than going, oh, fuck it, I'm
Yeah.
not going to do any and just get 2,000 a day. Like,
Yeah.
something's always better than nothing.
Oh, as you know, I had like a big family issue happen a few months ago, and we had to completely change what we were doing a few weeks in a row, really. And like there was days where I just did not get my steps in because I just couldn't.
Yeah.
There was just stuff going on. I just couldn't get out to get my steps in. So you can kind of work around, like you can bring up the
Yeah.
average. You can add a couple thousand steps onto the days before and after. You can. Okay, there was a couple of days where I had no control over food, but again, I had control over quantity of food. I had control over how much I ate. I couldn't track it, but you can, especially when you get a little bit more experience with it, you can kind of eyeball
Yeah.
it a little bit. You know, you can.
I think as well, like when certain things happen, it's knowing what's going to be the best thing for you in that given time as well. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
obviously there's times when you're like, should I go get my steps? And I was like, nah, you need rest
Yeah.
more than you need those couple thousand
Yeah.
steps. Like, everybody's like, you know, physically, mental capacity and all of that.
Yeah.
Like, it's dependent on what's actually going on.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's where it comes back to having that person there who's able to see things objectively.
and it's not more.
Yeah, because there was one evening there where I think it was last month, and I think I was like, maybe I was having a flare up, but I remember I said to you, Chrissy, I am exhausted. I have, 4,000 steps left to do. Should I go and do those steps, or should I just get into bed because I really feel rough? And I just had to straight up ask you, and you were just like, and you had a look at things, and you were like, no, just go get some sleep instead. And it was like, I would have pushed through and gone and
Yeah.
get those steps, but I felt horrendous. I probably would have been crying on the walk, to be honest. I
Yeah.
felt that bad. So it's just having that person there who can look at things objectively, because when you're that tired, that emotionally all over the place,
Yeah.
it really helps to have someone who's the voice of reason.
I think like communication as well is
Yeah.
important as well. Like,
Yeah, don't
say to everybody all the time, it's like you need to communicate things, you know.
Yeah,
Even
don't
when
hide
it's
things.
a case of like, oh, having a break, or I've been stressing about doing this, doing that. It's like, well, you've got a coach for a reason. Like, communicate those things, because it's like you said, sometimes it is about going, actually, no, we need to pull back a little bit. Like, everybody's different. Some people you need to push more. Other people, sometimes you need to pull back a little bit. Yeah. Sometimes you need to kick, sometimes you need to cuddle, you know.
That's compassion. That's compassionate coaching. That's what it is. It's not all about being nice. It's about doing what we need to do. You're the parent in the situation.
Telling you what needs to be told.
Yeah, and you'll do it nicely. Like, you'll hold people's hand as they do it, but coaches aren't there to judge you. Coaches aren't there to kick you when you're down or anything. Coaches aren't there to do any of that. They're there to be that compassionate voice of being like, I know what you feel, but I also know what you're gonna thank me for doing, or thank yourself for doing. And that's what you're there for. It's not to be judgmental or anything.
Yeah. But that's the thing, isn't it? It's not a case of just being like, you don't have a coach to be told what you want to hear. But you also don't have a coach to just be scared of someone, do you know what I mean? Like, you need to have that communication and trust in it, otherwise, like, it doesn't work.
Hello. So I'm just jumping on because you didn't actually get the end of that chat. I was having a few minor difficulties with technology. As we know, technology is not my strong point. And to be honest, when we started that chat, didn't even hit the record button. So yeah, bit of a mishap, but you know, you get the gist. There's some information in there which hopefully you'll find useful, but as usual, we want to end the YouTube with a hit the like, subscribe, and all of that jazz. But next for YouTube will be a training session, which, funnily enough, we didn't manage to finish a training session. Well, we did finish it, but we couldn't finish recording it, 'cause again, technology. But you get the gist of most of it. But anyway, I will catch you on the next one.